Welcome back to GMSL, and we were having a very insightful discussion on suicide, and we have a very prominent psychiatrist and very prominent sociologist in the studio. It's a very precious moment for us when we have two people of these two disciplines here to discuss this very pertinent issue, because the rates of suicide has been going up in Sri Lanka as per the media reports that we see. So first of all, before we go into that, I would like to find out why it is that the research statistics are so hazy. Where can we really go to get the right numbers? Who will take that first? Sure. Doctor?
The details about
suicide in Sri Lanka, is there like a certain place we can go to get the proper statistics for the urban suicides, or is there a different place that reports suicides in
the suicide
villages?
research, as far as I know, in the field of psychiatry, and in the University of Peradeniya, in this Department of Psychiatry, one Dr. Abhay Singh has done a lot of research on suicide, and in fact most often we quote his the details that he has observed.
Doctor, where can the material, the data be taken from? Is there a mechanism within Sri Lanka that has a sort of system where you can say, okay, these things are reported? Do they get the information from the police stations? Ma'am, if you could give us a bit of insight.
Yeah, usually when a suicide is or attempted suicide happens, the hospital police post should record that.
Okay.
And if that happens, and the police records is one thing, you have police records of suicide attempts as well as suicides.
Okay.
In all districts, and also hospital data from the bedhead tickets and things. You can gather data.
All right.
And the hospital police posts itself, so they're supposed to maintain statistics or data from about suicide and self-harm. But this is not the most accurate thing done, because when you really good to try to do research on that, it's difficult to kind of find data from all districts. Sometimes some hospitals don't keep these type of records. Sometimes because it's suicide is decriminalized, the police post things that it's not necessary, and so they just let it go. So it's very difficult to kind of find the authentic real data to say statistically this is the rural number and this is the urban number and this is how it is in this country.
All right. Doctor,
as a measure of now, there was a presidential task force appointed for Sri Lanka in 1997. One of their proposal is that decriminalize suicides.
Yes.
It is not an offense. Therefore, its reporting is less. It is not usually found in police stations now. In fact, that is only the death certificate or the coroner's inquiry. You can get that information. Usually, all over the world, suicides are underreported. There are various other causes given. Suicides are underreported.
So this is for attempted suicides or for successful?
Both.
For both.
Yeah.
So
attempts go unnoticed as well, because most of the time attempts in Sri Lanka are due to poisoning. Like the main way of attempting is by taking pesticides. So it gets reported as poisoning, not as a self-harm, a deliberate self-harm or attempted self-harm.
I see.
So all of that data is sort of mixed up. You get the snake bites and the real poisoning incidents and the attempted self-harm incidents all together.
So it's fair to say that the actual scenario is really much worse than is reported or is presented on paper. Now moving on to a very sensitive topic of copycat suicides. There's a lot of issues that are brought up here. There's a lot of sensitivity or insensitivity in terms of reporting of suicides, and I think as a public, as people who are watching these things, we're not sure what exactly the right method of reporting on such an incident should be. Should it be completely stigmatized? Should it not be reported at all? Or should only certain details be given? I think it's a huge topic. So we'll start off first with the phenomenon of copycat suicides.
That's very important and very useful information that we must have. Now, suicide there are some phenomena we called the common problem. The people who are depressed have a common problem of suicidal intention and suicidal thoughts.
Okay.
The common solution is killing himself or herself. Now this is when we have a problem. Now, irrespective of the individuals, once you are depressed, you get hopeless, worthless, lifeless, suicidal ideas, attempt, and then the successful suicide.
Yes.
That's the ideology. Then the solution is killing yourself. Now the solution is given publicly over the media. It has been very clearly observed that suicide rate goes higher. In fact, there are various research on media publications and suicide. They have observed in various areas, if they describe a definite method in that particular community, suicide by that method goes higher.
Is that a proven fact?
It is a proven fact.
Okay.
It's a proven fact. There are many research on that.
Right.
I can quote. In fact, it's not only by describing the method, just reporting suicide increases suicide.
But then shouldn't this because it is a social problem.
Yes.
But shouldn't it go like
in many countries, suicide reporting is entirely prohibited.
But then how do you give the message out to the public that this shouldn't happen, that it's not okay?
It is a health problem. It is not description of suicide to the general public. It's a health problem. It has to be addressed at that level.
What is that level?
That information should be with the health authorities and the providing people with providing health services, and they should address it and they should know it, the details. It is there is no use for the public for that to know the people have killed themselves like this. In fact, if you look at the media, what they describe are the real fact. It is not often real fact. Most often they give social causes.
Yes.
If you look at the headlines,
because
the husband comes with alcohol or influence of alcohol, and thereafter they seduce it. And mother killed themselves. Mother killed the children and killed herself. Actual reason is depression. But what the media gives entirely different pictures. It is not described as a health problem. It has been described as a social problem. Therefore, entirely the focus diverts to some other direction. In fact, the health authorities even are not taking matters seriously.
I see.
Okay, therefore, this health problem, in fact, mental health problem, should be addressed at that level in the manner that is necessary to solve those problems. If you describe that these are the reasons, in other words, if you increase the mental health literacy.
Yes. But that's a tough one.
But the tough one, but that is the duty.
Okay.
The treatment for the mental illness is the most important thing, not the reporting suicide.
Okay.
Therefore, that is the focus that we need to pay attention.
Okay. Ma'am, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I agree with what Dr. Gambira says.
The doctor is saying that it's just a mental health. Yes.
I'm disagreeing with some parts of it. Of course, I would see it as, now we were talking about media in this, how media reports all these incidents. For me, of course, from the social sciences point of view, we see this happening as an impulsive act. It happens because maybe they, as doctor said, okay, the husband comes drunk.
So it's not a lead up. It's not a contemplation of okay, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, it's not like they take the research that we have created have shown us that it's not a contemplated decision. Like they think about it and they think on how to do it and when to do it and write a note and then commit suicide or attempt it.
Okay.
That's not the way. It's like, okay, they come home drunk and they don't like the food that was cooked, and it could be something very small, or the child, they heard some gossip on the way and they just want to pick a fight with the wife, and then there will be domestic violence there, and then that would lead to a more stress in the situation, and then they would go on to say like, okay, I am going to kill myself because you did this, and you're embarrassing me, or you're doing all these things.
So in that case, how does that copycat suicide connect?
Exactly. So that sort of situation is where they kind of attempt suicide, and the lethality leads to a death. Right? But when you kind of when media reports these things, they go on to the extent of revealing how to do it. And it's like, and they sometimes stress on the love affairs, like breaking up of love affairs, and the boy kills himself. These are like plots in some certain storylines also. So these type of things, the common problems that are talking about the common problems that are in society, and when people with these type of problems view these things, they think like, okay, so if I have the same problem, that should be one of the solutions. So they think of suicide or attempting suicide as an option.
And there is a blatant sort of romanticization of suicide. It's reflected in popular literature. You see it everywhere, basically in art these days. And why is that? Why has it come to that level?
Yeah, it is romanticized, and it's okay to kind of romanticize this unusual act. Suicide itself is an unusual act in literature, because literature is fiction. It's not real life. I mean, people do relate to it, but you have an idea that it's fiction. But when the real media reports it in the same way, in the same romanticized manner, people would actually relate to it in a different way.
So you take Romeo and Juliet out of Shakespeare, and you have a
real life situation, and then you go like, okay, I have the same problem, and that is my option, and then I should be contemplating that, or I should be doing that, and that is how I do it, because that is what the media romanticize the most, how to do it. They would show how to do it, they will tell you the mechanisms, they will even tell you where to find the stuff. So that leads to a lot of romanticization from authoritative media that goes to the viewer, which is what is wrong.
Doctor, your ideas on
that? In fact, I want to clarify one point in psychiatric point of view. The suicide and the deliberate self-harm or attempted suicide are two different entities. In suicides, there is a clear intention of killing himself or herself over a period, contemplating of thinking how to kill. There's a method and things like that. But as it described, the emotional or the reactional, it's a different issue. That is, we call this acute or response to acute stress. That's the two different kind. There, the intention to kill himself is not there. Perhaps sometimes because of the lethality of the agent that he takes or she takes might kill the patient.
So in this case, this is just a cry for help.
That is a cry for help, or else that make him the other, or else they want some intervention for their problem. Otherwise, in suicide, where real depression or mentally ill patient, they think it over a period, they think of a method, plan it, contemplate and kill themselves. That's one. Other one is obviously in literature, say novels, say drama, it's there, that's fiction. In fact, suicides are there in society. There is no problem about that. The issue is that in real life situation, in this widely spread electronic media which is there from morning till dawn, that is the issue for the general public that make it a real life event as she described. That is the thing that is going to affect individual mindset. It is not in a novel or in the drama or cinema. It is different. It is a fiction.
But doctor, if you take that concept that you mentioned, that proposal